Laker fans, your guess has been as good as mine when it comes to when Jarred Vanderbilt is finally going to hit the basketball court for the Lakers. But, we finally have an actual update and timetable for when Jarred Vanderbilt can be back on the court playing actual basketball with the Los Angeles Lakers. And we're going to talk about it here today on today's episode. And if you're new to Lakers Digest, my name is Hunter Pitcoff. We cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers on the channel, as the name probably suggests. But subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. A lot of you guys are new viewers, and we really appreciate you for finding us here on the World Wide Web. But 85% of you that watch the videos already are not subscribed. So stop what you're doing right now. It is free. It don't cost you a damn penny to subscribe to this channel. But let's get into it. Shams Charania revealing a massive update regarding Jarred Vanderbilt. And this is what he had to say today. Lakers forward, Jarred Vanderbilt, experienced fluid in his left knee recently during rehab and is now targeting an early January return date for the Lakers. We finally have some actual clarity, a clear-cut date of when we can expect Jarred Vanderbilt back on the court. Thank God. Thank the basketball gods that we finally know and have an idea, because Laker fans, we have been left in the dark for months now about Jarred Vanderbilt. He has not played since January against the Boston Celtics. It might be a full calendar year, or it might have been the beginning of February. I apologize. But he has not played since that game against the Celtics where the Lakers completely upset them without LeBron, without Anthony Davis. They were like 15-point underdogs, or it might even be like 20-point underdogs, and they ended up winning that game in TD Garden. It was arguably one of the best games of the season for the Lakers, and it really helped turn their season around. But that's the game Jarred Vanderbilt got hurt. He hurt his heel. Then he was out the rest of the season, was technically ruled back, but didn't actually play in that Game 5 against the Denver Nuggets, where they ultimately lost to Denver. Then we find out right before the season starts, right before training camp, right before preseason, that Jarred Vanderbilt ends up having surgery on both his feet. And so that holds him back. And now, through Shams Charania, Dave McMenamin as well from ESPN, we find out that Jarred Vanderbilt, in fact, had fluid in his left knee, and that made the rehab process even longer. So Vando has been getting the bad end of the stick in terms of all these injuries that he is facing as the Lakers, as you see down below in our ticker, are currently sitting at 8th in the Western Conference at 12-9, about a quarter of the way through the season. And let's talk about it here, too, because the Lakers desperately need Jarred Vanderbilt. We're talking about all these moves that the Lakers can make this upcoming couple of months leading up to the trade deadline, finding a piece or two, especially some defense, some guys that can rebound. Well, Jarred Vanderbilt can do all that for the Lakers. That answer is on the roster. The question is he actually going to play? And to show you guys some context, this is where Jarred Vanderbilt, like I just alluded to, can really do his biggest impact. Right now, the Lakers are 24th in defensive rating in the NBA. They sit next to teams like the Knicks, the Suns, the Raptors, and the Nets. And they're sandwiched right in between Toronto and Brooklyn, two teams that are, quite frankly, not trying to win basketball games right now. So the defense has been a major point of concern for the Lakers. They're also 22nd in the NBA in rebounding, which is a little bit better than maybe what I actually thought when I looked this up. But again, they are behind the Washington Wizards, who are actively trying to lose games. They should be the Washington Wizards because they cannot get a W to save their life. And then on top of that, too, the Lakers, which I was surprised they were even this high, they are 20th or tied with 20th in the NBA in offensive rebounding per game. Again, behind teams like the Wizards, the Bulls, who are going for a complete fire sale right now, and teams like the Suns and the Cavs. Surprised they're ahead of the Cavs. They're a pretty big team, but Phoenix is definitely a smaller team. They play a lot more up-tempo. So the Lakers are toward the bottom 10 in the NBA in defense and rebounding, which is typically not a formula of success for winning. So getting a guy like Jarred Vanderbilt back, he does not provide a lot of scoring, but what he does provide is those two things in a major way, or even three if you want to count defensive rebounding as a whole and offensive rebounding. The man is a junkyard dog. When he is in the lineup, I'm telling you guys, he makes a major impact. We saw him play some of his best basketball right before he got hurt earlier this calendar year, earlier this past season. He was scoring the basketball, finding ways to get to the foul line. He was finding ways to get open and get easy dunks, leading as the wing on transition opportunities and things like that. And he just has this contagious energy about him that the Lakers desperately need right now. If we go back 2 seasons ago in 2023, when the Lakers traded Russell Westbrook and got the haul from Utah, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jarred Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was viewed as the third biggest acquisition in that deal, right? It was D'Angelo Russell with his playmaking, his shooting. It was Malik Beasley with him being just an absolute sniper, although he couldn't shoot the ball in L.A. Jarred Vanderbilt was kind of viewed as like that third guy, and he ended up being arguably the most valuable one, right? I mean, D'Angelo Russell, I would argue, is maybe the most valuable, but what Vanderbilt was able to do for the Lakers was definitely the biggest shock. And he took on the assignment of guarding the opposite team's best perimeter defender every single game. He does not foul very often. He's extremely athletic, has great size and strength for a wing. He's your prototypical defensive-minded wing, and I've always been like, if he could just develop a 35% three-point shot, this is a $20 million per year player, straight up. He signed a 4-year, $48 million extension last offseason, so he's kind of impossible to trade unless a team really does believe his health's going to be better. While $12 million per year for him when healthy is a very good number, he's not been healthy. In fact, he's played in 29 of 109 possible games for the Lakers. That doesn't even include the postseason, which he missed all of last year, which is 5 games. So, and playing in the playing game as well. So Jarred Vanderbilt is a massive upgrade to the Lakers team. And now we know that the beginning of 2025, the calendar year, in January, that is when he's expected to be back. Hopefully that also means that he's going to be ramped up before then. I don't necessarily know. He's not someone who's going to be he's going to be rusty, but it's not like he's much of a good shooter anyway. So most of his skill is really just him being in great condition so he can go out there, dive for loose balls, get offensive rebounds, get easy putbacks, and guard the team's best perimeter defender. But that does bring us to our final point here. Can they actually rely on this happening? No. Unfortunately, as much as I love Vando's game, as much as I think he'd be a perfect fit in the starting lineup, ideally next to Austin Reaves, connect, and then Anthony Davis and LeBron, I just don't see it happening. I don't. I hope I'm wrong, but Jarred Vanderbilt, one thing he has proven is that he does not play games for the Los Angeles Lakers. And after having a really healthy start to his career in Utah and his last year or so in Minnesota, that's not translated to L.A. For some reason, he's just gotten the Lakers' curse of getting hurt, and they have barely seen him play. He's played in, if we do the math, like 20% of the games he's been able to. And again, he has missed so much time, especially recently, that I can't trust him. I just can't. As much as I want to, I can't. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope Vanderbilt does come back. And again, guys, just to bring up that report one more time for you, Shams Charania, Dave McMenamin as well from ESPN reporting that he is targeting an early January return back to the court. And again, early return, what does that mean? Does that mean he's going to get ramped up again to get ready to play basketball? Or is that when he's going to be back on the court actually playing in real games for the Lakers? That we don't know, and that I don't trust. But again, that's the report, guys. Let me know down below in the comments as well. What do you think of this report? How valuable is Jarred Vanderbilt to this team? And if he is healthy and he can get back to what we saw right before his injury, where can that help the Lakers get to their ultimate goal of rising up the standings in a very tough Western Conference? Again, they're still just a couple games out of even the 2-3 seed in the West. I mean, all it takes is a 6-7 game win streak to really propel yourself back up to the top. That's how it's going to be all season long in the West. But the Lakers need to stay afloat, bare minimum. And again, they got a couple games coming up here on the road that are winnable in Atlanta and Miami. But again, guys, I'm going to say it one more time. Subscribe. If you've already watched all the way this far and you're not subscribed, just do it. Like Shia LaBeouf said, just do it. Just subscribe. We're trying to get to 31,000 subs. We're halfway there. Let's do it. And again, guys, if you've watched this long, I appreciate it. Hunter Pitcoff here, signing out on Lakers Digest.